What's going on, everybody? Thank you very much for being with me. It's good to be back tonight to continue our coverage of the Madeline Soto case. And it does kind of feel like this has become the Madeline Soto channel, but it's just a very, very important case. And so as I continue to get documents and recordings and photographs in this case, I'm going to continue to bring it to you. It's just so important. Hey, with a big special thanks to Gazella over at Grizzly True Crime, it appears that I now have the ability to bring on chats that bring in super stickers and emojis and even the fish fin, the shark fin little icon for our members, so I can see those of you who are members. So I am really happy about that. That's pretty cool. So yeah, thank you, Gazella, for pointing me in the right direction. That has been something that I've been having a hard time with for quite some time. Okay, so guys, you guys know that Maddie was, she was a 13-year-old little girl, little middle school-aged girl who mysteriously, he says sarcastically, goes missing on February 26th of this year. The story goes that her mother's on-again, off-again boyfriend, a man named Stephan Stearns, dropped her off at school, and then when her mother, Jenn, goes to pick her up at school later that day, she is not there. Police are called, missing person report is made, the whole shebang, and eventually, in not too much time at all, Mr. Stearns is arrested, not for Madeline's murder, but for the abuse of Madeline, as proved, according to police, by 1,700 photos, or I think they were all photos, but there may have been video as well, that he had on his Google Drive showing his abuse, his SA of Madeline Soto. It wasn't until later that he was actually charged with her murder. And because this is the state of Florida, there are open records laws that are very favorable to the media. So we are fortunate that through another sunshine law request, we have some more audio. So what we're going to listen to tonight is a recording that Stephan Stearns, it's a recording of a call that Stephan Stearns made to his folks. They are named Chris and Deb Stearns. These are them right here. It is about a 13-minute call. I did edit out the beginning that was just kind of empty. So there are some edits that I have made to this, but only like in the beginning to just trim off some silence, basically. I have upped the volume on this. I've done just a little bit as far as enhancing the audio, so it's a little bit easier to understand, but keep in mind that these are telephone recordings, so it's not going to be high fidelity, right? So we are going to go ahead and jump in. I like to show pictures of Maddie more than I like to show the people who are actually talking on this. I mean, I definitely will. But I'm going to go ahead and get the recording started. I should also set the stage for you guys here that the recording was made on the 13th of May. So we are 5 months past that, a little bit more than 5 months past that. So in the thumbnail, you guys will see that, Jenn has been institutionalized or whatever. That is what comes out of this recording as of May. A lot of people have been asking, where is Jenn? And my answer is I really don't know at this point. There are rumors, but I really don't know. But at some point, well, let's just go ahead and listen to the recording. Now, if you want to get my attention, just put GF in your comment. That will highlight it for me back here on the back end. So I will be able to see your comments and hopefully, well, I'll show some as we go along. I don't have the ability to favorite comments anymore with this new system, but so I may pause along the way and address things as you guys drop them. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and begin. And it looks like you guys can hear that, so I think we're okay.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Stearns,
an inmate at
Osceola County Corrections Department.
To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
I do my best to be on time.
hey,
Where the hell you been?
I've been trying to call. We've had us on lockdown so often. Every time I've asked it, we've been on a Code 5 lockdown.
Okay.
Which means I've been unable to call. I've been trying to call all weekend, too.
So you've been on lockdown all this time?
Off and on, yes. On the days that I've asked, we've happened to be on lockdown, which means either an incident has happened or they're just so understaffed that they have to lock everyone down. It's probably more to do with understaffing.
Okay. How you been?
Well, you know, had the world's shittiest birthday present, so.
Yeah. And then you didn't call, so I'm assuming because of changes that they prevented you from calling?
No, they were actually moving me around a lot, shuffling back and forth, so I was having to get my phone privileges jockeyed back and forth, which takes a little while. And then, like I said, the days that I was asking, we happened to be on lockdown on those days. So it's just been inconvenient.
Okay.
Very inconvenient timing, and then we were on lockdown all weekend. I wanted to call on Mom's birthday. I tried to call yesterday. I tried to call Saturday, and it was no go anytime. So, but I've been wanting to call. How have you been?
I'm trying to put this on speaker.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put this on speaker. Okay.
How have you been? Can you hear me?
Good. Can you hear us?
Yes. Is Mom there with you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
What's that?
Stephan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is Mom with you?
Hey, Pineapple, I actually don't know. I mean, I imagine they weren't in a relationship when she was born. It was like an affair. So I think Jen probably just gave her her own name.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Stephan,
You can hear me? Yes. Can you hear me?
yes. Okay, that's on speaker.
Okay. Is Mom there?
Yes, mom's with me now.
Okay. Happy birthday, belated birthday, Mom, and happy belated Mother's Day.
Hi, sweetheart. I was so hoping to hear from you. I'm so glad I'm hearing from you now.
Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't able to call you all weekend. They had us on lockdown, so no one was able to do anything.
Were you expecting these charges?
No.
Okay, so the charges that they're talking about are the murder charge, right? Were you expecting this new charge? No, I wasn't expecting it.
Oh, well, you know you're not.
Okay, so you got blindsided by that.
Yeah.
I don't believe
obviously,
that.
It's not true. I never would have wanted her gone for any reason, so, premeditated first degree is kind of a dick punch.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering if you had any updates or anything.
Nope, we haven't heard a thing. Just, speculation that she's been
Hiding
put in an institution and hiding in an institution.
at her lawyer's request.
Yeah.
I mean, are you cooperating with?
So that was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, so her lawyer had her self-commit to an institution. I don't know that she's still there now, but I imagine that she just did that probably for defense reasons.
Police about her participation in any of this stuff?
There's been no opportunity for me to cooperate with anything. As I understand, the police keep saying that I'm uncooperative, but they haven't asked me anything to cooperate with, so whatever that means.
So your attorney isn't approaching them and saying, my client would like to speak with you?
Well, my attorneys are pretty much saying to keep my mouth shut until the trial starts.
Well, okay.
I don't think we're going to find out anytime soon, Elizabeth. That's a good question, though.
Okay. I don't know why they were going to wait till the trial, but that's their business, not mine.
They don't want anything to hurt my chances.
Yeah, understand. Okay.
Hey, what was Joey's last name?
Beltry?
Yeah, Veltri.
Joey Beltry? Beltry?
Beltry.
Beltry or Beltry?
Veltri with a V, like victory.
V.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, it's basically, well, obviously there's concerns that they're artificially inflating everything up as high as they can possibly do it.
Not artificially.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, prosecutors definitely do that. They definitely, some would argue, overcharge, but they will. Like I was looking at one today where a man sent allegedly something like 20 threatening texts to a victim. And so he got 20 separate charges of making terroristic threats. So yeah, for sure, prosecutors do that, but it's not artificially inflating. One could argue that you're overcharging somebody. The other side of that argument is you're charging them appropriately. And then, King Tima, he did turn in that hard drive, but it does seem like Mr. Stearns, the elder, is a little bit out of the loop here, right? I think you picked up on that correctly.
I don't know what the plan is there. If they're just trying to scare me into pleading down, or I don't know.
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're just trying to hurt me as much as possible.
Are you able to share the Saturday night before you left for Kissimmee? You were pretty upset about something. Did it have to do anything with Kissimmee and the events that took place the next couple of days?
No.
Okay.
No, I just stressed out about money and job and everything like that.
Some woman got on a YouTube thing and said that you weren't even at the party.
Yeah, it's good to know that his parents are watching YouTube.
Party?
Yeah, her birthday party.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. I went up there Sunday evening and got there after she was done at her party.
Oh,
So
okay.
up until this point, he had probably lied to his parents that he was at the party. And now he's changed. Well, I hadn't gotten there yet. Didn't get there in time. Missed the party.
And we were very happy that I was there. We were very happy that the three of us were together. It was shaping up to be a great week and a great visit. You know, there was no reason for anything to happen that happened.
Is there some explanation of I came up Wednesday morning, met you at the hotel early.
This is an interesting question. Like Chris Stearns his BS radar is like pinging like crazy, right? Of course, if he wants to help his son, probably shouldn't be talking about this with him. But anyway, his BS detector is well honed, well skilled, right? I'm not saying that correctly. Well, whatevered. And he's asking him about this. And then Content Angel, yes, Stephan Stearns is using a public defender.
Morning, and is there some explanation why you left and went where you went?
I was driving around.
Okay, understood you were driving around, but they know where you were driving around.
Yeah. Well,
And we know.
Okay. I had wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming, but I couldn't find what I was looking for.
Okay.
So he knew what was coming, of course, right? He knew what was on his Google Drive. He knew what was coming. And he probably, he's like, I should say, in my opinion, because this is alleged, he probably knew that he was guilty, and they were closing in on him. The trap was getting smaller and smaller. I was trying to get prepared for what was happening next. I didn't find what I'm looking for. And, Chris and Deb here, I'm starting, like, in the beginning of this, I kind of felt like Chris and Deb were another set of Laundries, right? Brian Laundrie's parents, to me, knew everything and did not help. And I kind of feel like with Chris and Deb Stearns, they're not like that. I don't think they knew. I mean, I'm not backtracking on what I said. I think that they are Frankenstein in this situation. They created that monster. So they knew that the monster was there, but I don't know that they knew specifics. You know what I mean? And so I think he's fishing for info because he wants to know. He wants the information, Here we go.
And then I ended up just kind of driving around aimlessly.
Yeah, I don't think so either, Jenny.
I mean, you asked me to come up, and we hardly spent 35 minutes the entire time I was there throughout the entire day. And it's like, I wasn't sure why I was there, and then I was caught off guard by what happened later that afternoon, and obviously haven't seen you since.
Yeah, well, I just felt like I needed an ally there.
Well, I wish you had come to me and talked to me about some stuff, and maybe I could have helped you out in some way, giving you some advice. But certainly, under the extenuating circumstances, what was later discovered obviously couldn't help you any further than what had already taken place. So, the most logical thing would be to have, face up to it and have a conversation with the appropriate authorities or get an attorney or something. But be that as it may.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got a copy of your birth certificate for Sheila Marino and for your case.
Okay.
We're trying to get hospital records.
So this is really interesting. This shows the the difference in. Let me bring up their picture here. The difference in Chris and Deb Stearns, right? Chris is like, I wish you would have come and talked to us because we could have gotten ahead of it. We could have done the right thing. We could have gone in and told them the whole story, and it would have been so much better. I wish you would have trusted me with that. And then next thing, Deb's like, okay, so I got your birth certificate. We're going to do a power of attorney or whatever it is that she's talking about. She continues this enabling behavior of her son, Stephan, whereas Chris is a little less inclined to do that. Pippa disagrees with me. It's not a well-honed BS detector. He's just, the BS is too much to ignore. I think that's probably pretty good. Let's see. A couple of other thoughts before we go on. Gavin, I'm curious that if no one knew what was going on, why was the first thing Stephan Stearns' mom thought when they heard Maddie was missing that she thought he killed her? Well, yeah, I think she went out looking for Maddie, right? Out in the field behind the house. But yeah, Nifty 50, I take your point. And again, I think they understand that they are Frankenstein in this novel and that they have created that monster. I just don't know that they knew the details, I guess. But that's a great comment. One other before we keep going. No, let's get us going here.
From the TBI that Sarasota Memorial says you were never a patient there, so that was ridiculous because we know you were.
Yeah. And were you able to find my Social Security card?
Yes.
Good. I presume it was probably in that mouse toy box with everything?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
It's in my...
No, I don't recall where it was, but it wasn't there. But
I don't remember if you had confirmed or not. Were you able to find my watch?
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
So
there was no popcorn box.
Little silver mouse
we already
toy.
had your Social Security card, so why did you think we need I already knew your number. Why did you think we need to find the card?
just in case I was going to need it in the future.
Okay. Well, we have that.
Well, how long I'm going to be here, or if or when I'll ever be released, or if you guys are going to be around at that point. But, birth certificate, Social Security card might be things I'll need in that case.
Well, the penalty for the crimes you've been charged with carry a minimum 40-year sentence. So obviously we're going to be gone. Rick will be gone. We'll all be gone. We're sad about that, obviously, because there won't be anybody here for you when you come out.
Yeah, I'll be.
That's some tough talk right there. That is some really tough talk, and I'm really glad that he did that. Donna66 from Canada asks, do you think Stephan Stearns is going to try to blame Jenn too? I think if this goes to trial, he probably, his lawyers will definitely need to, they have to put up a defense, right? And one of the classic defenses that they can put up is that somebody else did it. So yeah, maybe.
Lucky if I have another 40 years left in me either, so.
Yeah.
That, I guess everything sticks.
I wish there was a way that, you and I can have a conversation, all of us could have a conversation to understand what's taken place, how this came about, how you arrived here, because it would help us better understand the situation, because we're at a loss for understanding how all this came about. We're just totally baffled.
Wow. Again, I don't know that I buy that completely, but also I do think that Chris Stearns is, it's not that I don't believe it. I just, he's handing down some tough love. He wants Stephan to tell him what's going on. It almost feels like Chris Stearns is like, I know this is being recorded. Maybe I can get him to tell more. They started this conversation with him going, have you been cooperative? Right? So maybe what he's doing here is going, tell us more so that we can get this on audio. I wonder if that's what he's doing.
I didn't start it.
Okay. Oh, you didn't start it, but you participated.
Real quick, sorry, I'll go back. Proud Danish, I hope you're feeling better now. Ooh, let's get them off. We'll bring Maddie up again. Hope you're feeling better. Glad. Let me go back about 10 seconds here. All right, I'm going back about 10 seconds. Here we go.
We're just totally baffled.
Well, I didn't start it.
Okay. You didn't start it, but you participated in it, which is just as bad as not starting it, but that's for another day. Again, I don't know if
details or anything, but, if you'd like to schedule a visit with me or something, maybe we can find some way to talk.
I don't know. I think we're always going to be recorded, so there won't be an opportunity to do that. Now, we have to make arrangements for you to sign off on a power of attorney so we can do something with this car.
Yeah.
And I would have to bring a document over. They won't even let me see you. I would just hand it to the classification officer. He would bring it in, you'd sign it, they would notarize it, give it back to me, and I would leave.
Yeah, Pauline.
Okay. I think I just got the 1 minute warning.
Okay.
So yeah.
Take that.
Give them whatever you need, and I'll sign whatever I need to sign. In the meantime, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days and we'll talk some more. If you wouldn't mind putting a little more money in my commissary as well.
There it is. There's the ask.
All right. I can't do much stuff because we are really, when I say dead ass broke, I mean dead ass broke, but I'll do what I can.
Okay, I appreciate it.
That could change, but right now, for the next 30 days, we are definitely in lockdown.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. All right. I'll try to get over there within the week to get the POA taken care of.
That feels like
there's a 15-minute cooldown.
That feels like he can't say no to Stephan, but he found some reason to be able to say no. And it's possible that they are broke. It's not like he'd be able to go out working right now with his son being the most notorious person in Florida. I imagine they're probably stuck a little bit right now, but it did smack of him not being able to say no to his son.
Before I can call back, I'll see if I can call back again. If not, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay. All right. I love you. Bye.
All right. That is the recording, guys. That is the entire thing. 13 minutes and 13 seconds. Let's go through a couple of your questions here. See, yeah, he's concerned about a watch. What for? He won't need it. Yeah. I bet his parents don't have the money because they're preparing for their end of life. Well, yeah, I mean, didn't he? Yeah, Stephan told police that that's what they were doing, right? That he wanted to spend time with them because they're close to the end of their life. I had forgotten about that. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Assuming Stephan makes it that long in prison. Yeah. Yeah. Vamplifier. Go Dad. Yep. When he comes out at 80, yeah, that was some tough talk that his dad gave him there, right? Well, you're facing a minimum of 40 years. When you get out of prison, we will be dead. Everybody you love will be dead. And yeah, and he'll be 77, 78, right? Let's see. Wim says, Gavin, they may not have known everything, but they knew enough and still enabled him like they always did. They were just on YouTube playing victim, trying to validate Stephan Stearns and their own actions. What YouTube channel were they on? I would love to talk to these people. And I would do so respectfully. I honestly, I mean, I can't take back what, and I wouldn't take back what I believe, but that they are Frankenstein and he is the monster. But yeah, I'd still love to talk to him. Don't you think Chris stated that as if he was speaking to an autistic son, like breaking it down about the 40 years? Yeah, maybe. Like, Stephan, knock, 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 wake up. I've had conversations like that with my father as a young man. Like, Gavin, hello, is anybody in there? Let me wake you up. Knock, knock. I don't know that he did it when I was, 37 years old, but yeah, maybe he's doing that. And Mooncat says, Gavin, I think Dad is having a hard time reconciling the feelings that Stephan Stearns is a monster, but also my son. Yeah, it could be. His father stepped up, told Stephan Stearns like it is. I hope he can continue the reality checks. I hope so too. Women's Warrior says, Gavin, I think Stephan Stearns will throw Jenn Soto under the bus. I think that if he doesn't, his lawyer definitely will, right? Because that's a valid defense. Pauline Buckles, that was smart of Jenn to commit herself to an institution means she can't be questioned anymore. I had not thought about that. However, she did have an attorney already. So I think maybe, her attorney could tell her, don't talk to the police, and she is under no obligations to talk to them. That reminds me, and I know I always take things back to the Ellen Greenberg case, but Sam Goldberg talked to the police exactly twice, according to the documents that I've seen. The first time was at the apartment building, and the second time was at the police station in the presence of Brian McMonigal, his attorney, one of the most expensive attorneys in the nation and probably one of the top 3 defense attorneys in the nation. And he didn't give them much, man. Did not give them much. And of course not. Why would he? That's his lawyer wouldn't let him, right? Wouldn't let him do that. Okay, let's see. Really having to get used to this new system. Gavin, notice he said yeah, and that he doesn't feel he has 49 years left in him either. Not, don't worry, Dad, you'll all still be there. I didn't do this. Yeah, that is a great point, Beach Fairy. Yeah, I think he sees the writing on the wall, and I think Chris definitely does. I don't know if Debs does. Yeah, nifty 50 Gavin, I really want to know what Stephan Stearns meant when he said, I didn't start this. Well, reading between the lines, I think that means that he didn't start it. Like, he's saying other people did it. And I thought Chris Stearns rightly responded to him. It doesn't matter if you didn't start it, you participated in it. So maybe there will be others. Yeah, 40 not 49. I got you, Beach Fairy. That's cool. And yeah, they do know it's recorded, Aida. You know that as well as anybody, right? Let's see, Kathleen, Gavin, but Stephan took Maddie to school, so that would be hard to prove, right? I'm not following what you're saying there, Kathleen, because in fact, Kathleen, this is just reminding me tomorrow's video, which, by the way, guys, I'm gonna ask you to be a little patient with me tomorrow because I have an assignment kind of far away from my day job. I'm going to try to get back here in time to do my regular 7:30 time, but it might be pushed back a half an hour or even an hour. So I apologize for that in advance. But what we're going to be doing tomorrow is going over a timeline, getting back to Kathleen's comment, going over a timeline that police have created that is like showing photos of Stephan and Maddie in the car as he was getting rid of her body. So it's actually very easy to prove that he did not drop her off at school. Texas Patty Gavin, they aren't baffled at this point. They see Stephan Stearns for what he is finally. Yeah, and it does seem like they're still willing to, well, it still seems like mom is willing to help, but dad seems a little more disgusted, just like Chrissy says, right? Yeah, and Donna agrees with me. His dad is trying to get him to say something on the record. Let me see if I can. There we go. Laura Venegas says, Gavin, I started watching you because of this case and I needed to follow you. Well, I'm glad. Thank you very much. Guys, we're getting really close. We're like at 95,000 subscribers, which is like a strong community. I'm really grateful for those of you who have subscribed. You guys are awesome. Those who support me on Patreon, who take care of my mods by buying them a coffee. I love you all. Thank you all for this. Robin saying, Gavin, maybe his dad is putting on his policeman's hat to help with the case. Yeah, could be. Okay, Stephan Stearns says, I did not start this, thinking Jenn might suggested for them to sleep together for the first time. Maybe it was Jenn that started it? Yeah, could be. Could be. Zach in Florida, Gavin, Stearns folks are in the most unenviable position right now. As parents, they're supporting him as much as practical, but as humans, they must be absolutely disgusted. Yeah, I put myself in this kind of situation just, in my head. What would I do if my children were guilty of some heinous crime? First off, I think what Chris Stearns was saying, like, we could have helped you go to the authorities and told them everything before any of this got this far. I wish you would have come to us, right? That's the way I think about it with my kids. Like, if you do something like that, I will be there for you. I will continue to love you. I will probably be disgusted and dismayed by your behavior, but I will still love you because you're my child. But I'm not going to protect you from the consequences. And it does seem to me like at least Chris is there. Pauline says, Gavin, I didn't start it implies the victim took it too far. Oh, that's an interesting take on that. I didn't think of that. Autumn. Yes, we're so close. Guys, I got an email from YouTube today saying, hey, looks like you're pretty close. You and then gave me the procedure to get my my silver YouTube, plaque thing. Kind of fun. And Holly just subscribed. Thank you so much, Holly. You're awesome. Oh, they were on Hidden True Crime. Really? Okay, I will check that out. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Gavin came from Guilty of Crime. Love you. Thank you very much. Glad you're here. And oh my goodness, there's Guilty of Crime right there. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's see if there are any. I'm trying to think. I think I can see super chats here, guys. Let me see if I can bring this up. Hey, it worked. Thank you. Oh my goodness, Gazelle is so awesome. She has really helped me here. And PJ, thank you very much. PJ says, I think that Chris realizes that Stephan Stern's charges are going to bring him a life sentence. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see. It kind of jumped around there for a second. Give me a second. All right. Medi says, my parents would disown me forever if I did this. No excuses, no questions asked. And I hope they would. What he did is disgusting. Yeah, I've shared with you guys that that there was a family friend who did something horrible, and my dad was the only one left to be his friend. And I was actually, like, in the beginning, I wondered how he could possibly do that, but ultimately I was glad that he did. Like, Stephan Stearns has value as a human being. And I've thought about this for all of the perpetrators of horrible, basically ever since I looked into the Amanda Winkowski case. The issue in that case is that Antoine Garner, in my opinion, was guilty of killing Amanda Winkowski. It doesn't take away his human value, but he has to pay the price. That's the way I see it. And I respect you if you disagree with me. Clar, those predators victim blame all the time. Let's see. What chance does he think he has? Doesn't that sound like he wants to cooperate against Jenn Soto? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. This PJ, I'm like seeing this. I'm seeing so much stuff now that I can see comments like this. This is your 20th super on a live stream. Thank you so much. Veronica Villanueva, Gavin, hola. I think Dad doesn't want him to keep asking for more and more money, so they're broke. I agree. Bring the jury. Let's go, Gavin. Let's go. 100K. We're getting there. Getting close, and it's blowing my mind. All the love for PJ, you guys. Yeah. And I see there's some others that I'm getting to. Let's see. Oops, I just got bumped again. There we go. All right, I don't want to belabor this, guys. We don't want to go for too long here. Let's see. Mooney, guys. Mooney is like the OG of the family. I said the family. That's like some type of Freudian slip. No, she is family. She's the OG of the channel. She has been supporting me for a long, long time, and I love seeing Mooney's comments. And I also know that she has been taking care of a lot of people giving memberships and so forth. So Mooney, so good to see you. Mooney says, Gavin, blaming Maddie for what he did is disgusting. She was 8 when it started with her. Agreed. All right, I just accidentally skipped over a couple things. Can we come back here? Susan King. Thank you so much for that super chat, Susan. Susan says, Gavin, if you want to put the devil on trial, you go to hell for a witness. Jen will make a deal. I agree. Art, Built to Help, says, like and subscribe, peeps. Art is taking care of me. Don't know what happened to the background there, but thank you, Art. I appreciate that. Let's come on down in here. Women's Warrior. Gavin, I could be wrong, but I believe that Chris Stearns mentioned Jenn Soto had other people in and around Maddie before her and Stephan got together. Is it possible there was others before him? Sorry, don't want to upset anyone. I think that's a valid point. And yeah, I think that Jenn did have people in and out of her life in relationships of varying levels of seriousness or commitment. And it's possible that there were others before. The two that we know of that were in Jenn Soto's life are Tyler Wallace, who is Maddie's dad, and Stephen Young, who was Maddie's stepdad, who I don't believe he ever touched Maddie in that way. I don't think that he ever would have done anything like that. He was the one that actually came across as the one that was most loving and kind toward Madeline. So anyway, that's my thought there. Let's see. Gavin, I think in his twisted mind, he's saying Maddie started it. Yeah, you're the second person to think that, maybe thinking her friendliness was something else. Yeah, could be. Could be. Let's see. It's stuck again. Let's go. Did I miss another one? Let me come up here. See if I missed another super chat. I want to make sure that I didn't. I think I'm good. Okay. Let's keep going with your comments here. This new system is just going to take me a while, guys. What is that? Let's see. Gavin, I'd love to hear your take after you watch Hidden True Crime. I need to know how you feel about their talk with Hidden True Crime. I will watch that and maybe report back to you guys on that. I'm very curious. Maddie says, I think Dad is honest and Mother is a snake. Yeah, she is weird. Just got bumped down again. Give me a second. Oh yeah, we got a new member. Awesome. Margot, welcome. And then this one here. Josephine Cunningham. Assaulter was just sentenced last month and found in a cell. Stephan Stearns will have the same fate. I think you're right. I think I need to change my background color that's keyed out there. Sorry about that, guys. For some reason, I'm stuck again. There we go. Man, you guys have been really, really supporting me here. You guys are so awesome. But I think that at 42 minutes, we're probably at a good spot to call that a day. So tomorrow, guys, thank you. Number one, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. We've got like 2,100 people on right now. Before we go, let me just do some shameless plugging here. Okay. Number one, go to my website, gavinfish.com. There's always a link down in the description. You can get to Maddie's case page. It has so much, including not just the videos that I've done, but audio recordings that have been released, case documents. Now, most of the stuff on the page, like the case documents, the audio files, those are held back for my patron supporters, my patrons on Patreon. They have full access to this. The reason, though, that you shouldn't worry about that is that I go over a lot of these things here on the channel, but what everybody has access to are like the crime scene photos and all that stuff. So always check out the website if you want to see more information on Maddie's case. If you click on this little fishy up in the upper corner, that will take you to the fish tank. We are about 2,400 members on Facebook. If that's your deal, you want to join our group, I'd invite you to do that. Jamie and Autumn are the admins over there as well. Speaking of Jamie and Autumn, they are doing this all voluntarily. I love my mods. If you go to the support tab on my website, scroll down to the bottom, click on buy mods a coffee. That is a way to support them for all of the hard work that they do. And before we go, it looks like we got a couple, Debbie is a new member. Let's bring this up. Thank you, Debbie. Who else? I think we've got somebody else. Yeah. And what do we have here? Yeah. Okay. So we've got just thank you all for everything that you do here on the channel, for supporting me, and for all your comments. I just love doing this with you guys. I will be back tomorrow. Maybe at 7:30, maybe as late as 8:30 Eastern. I've just got an assignment that I need to go and do for my work. It's election day or election season, and I live in a swing state, and so there's just so much going on. I would much rather spend the time with you or spend the time reporting on cases in court like I do a lot of the times. But tomorrow I will be doing that. So if you don't see me at 7:30, I will be in communication with Jamie and Autumn, and they will let you know if it's going to go a little bit late. All right. With that, I will bid you adieu. Thank you very much for being here. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.